And this isn't just speculation. The evidence isn't hidden, it's measurable. It's woven into the very fabric of our universe, right there in the fundamental numbers that we observe. Every enduring mystery in modern cosmology, the enigma of the Big Bang, the elusive nature of dark energy, the one-way flow of time, even the bizarre rules of quantum mechanics, they all snap into focus. They all point to one incredible unifying solution, at least possible solution. And that is that we're living inside the expanding interior of a white hole. Recently, the very respected astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson addressed a profound cosmic question. Can our universe be inside a black hole from another universe? His reasoning was sound within the current scientific paradigm. It may have missed the radical truth and perhaps one of the most important details, period, about this concept. You see, the strength of established science lies in the carefully built foundations, but sometimes true breakthroughs require a leap beyond those foundations, a perspective that isn't bound by the very rules it seeks to understand. This is the freedom that independent minds like yours and mine can embrace. Because we're not inside a black hole. We are, quite literally, free-falling inside is exact opposite, a white hole, or so I think is very possible. Not a black hole. And I'm going to show you how, using the universe's own observations. By the end of this, you'll see that dark energy may not be a mystery, but the ultimate clue. This isn't as much speculation as you might think. It is related to a lot of rigorous physics. For years, scientists like Nikodem Popławski at the University of New Haven have published peer-reviewed papers demonstrating that black holes could be doorways to new universes. Others like Lee Semmelin have explored similar concepts with his universes theory. Even as recently as 2024, new research continues to delve into these profound possibilities. We're about to take Einstein's field equations to their logical, revolutionary conclusion and reveal that the universe's biggest secret has been hiding in plain sight all along. Let's start by dismantling one of the most persistent myths in science fiction. Black holes do not suck things in. That's a Hollywood special effect. Gravity isn't some invisible rope pulling things. What we perceive as gravitational force is actually the curving and bending of the fabric of space-time itself. When you fall into a black hole, you're not being yanked. You're simply following the straightest path possible. Incredibly warped space. Think of it as a free fall through an extreme funhouse mirror of reality. Black holes work by things free falling into extremely curved space. Then a white hole must work by things free falling out of extremely curved space. This isn't just mathematical symmetry, it's a key to understanding what we're actually experiencing as cosmic expansion. We're not being pushed apart by some mysterious dark energy. We are free falling, moving outwards through the natural expanding of geometry of a white hole. From the outside, a white hole is often conceptualized as a time-reversed black hole, matter and energy violently erupting outward from a singular point. But that's not what we'd experience from inside that hole. From within a white hole, several key features would emerge. Space-time would expand uniformly in all directions. All matter would naturally follow paths leading outward. This expansion would accelerate over time, just like they accelerate over time going into a black hole. There'd be a cosmic horizon that we'd never reach. Causality would flow strictly in one direction, forward, like time. Sound familiar? I'm describing our universe. But here's a part that elevates this beyond mere analogy. It's a mathematical structure that perfectly aligns. If you take the total mass energy content of our entire observable universe and calculate its Schwarzschild radius, which is the theoretical size a black hole would need to be to contain that much mass, you arrive at approximately 46.5 billion light years. And guess what? The observed radius of our universe, how far we can actually see in any direction, also approximately 46.5 billion light years across, or the radius. That's no mere coincidence. That's a cosmic fingerprint. Just imagine the very edge of our known universe might simply be the boundary of the cosmic event that birthed us. Now we arrive at the breakthrough that transforms everything. Dark energy makes up theoretically, about 70% of our universe. It's the mysterious something causing space itself to expand at an ever-increasing speed. After decades of intense research, we still have zero clue what it actually is. We don't have any idea. But what if it's not what at all, but what if it's where? My conjecture, dark energy is simply the natural stretching of space that comes from being inside a white hole. Just like you would not feel any distinct force pulling you into a black hole because you're free-falling through its curved space, we don't feel dark energy pushing us apart. Instead, we're in a free fall through expanding space-time. The accelerating expansion we measure as dark energy isn't caused by some strange unknown force or invisible field. It's inherent to the very geometry, the fundamental shape of white hole space itself. It's built right in. This solves the dark energy problem in the most elegant way possible, by making it an inevitable feature of our cosmic reality rather than a mysterious anomaly. A white hole's interior must expand, not because something outside is pushing it, but because expansion is just a fundamental part written into the very structure of its spacetime. We're not being pushed apart by dark energy, we're simply writing the geometric expansion of our own cosmic birth. But here's where this theory truly becomes profound, connecting the largest scales of the universe to the smallest. Consider the iconic double-slit experiment, firing individual tiny particles like photons at a screen with two narrow slits. If they were tiny balls, you'd expect them to make two distinct lines on the wall behind the slits. But incredibly, even when you send them one at a time, they create an interference pattern like waves splashing against each other. It's as if each particle travels through both slits at once, interfering with itself, which doesn't make any sense at all. But what if observation isn't causing collapse in the way we think? What if what we call collapse is the white hole continually solidifying or crystallizing from pure potential into actual reality, moment by moment? My conjecture, quantum mechanics is simply what Einstein's general relativity looks like from an expanding spacetime. Wave-particle duality, as famously shown by the double-slit experiment, the uncertainty principle where you can't know where a particle's exact position and speed is at the same time, quantum entanglement where two particles seem instantly connected across vast distances. All of it could be simply how we experience reality from within a white hole's ongoing expansion. Entangled particles aren't secretly communicating. They're still fundamentally connected through the original unified geometry of the white hole's cosmic birth. It is an explanation that we don't have otherwise. Wave function collapse in the double-slit experiment isn't about your consciousness affecting matter. It's about spacetime itself continuously deciding what it's going to become as it expands. Here's another profound mystery that the white hole idea solves effortlessly. Why does time only flow in one direction? According to physics, time could flow both ways just as easily. The math works perfectly well, but for whatever reason, it only goes forward. Think about it. Almost every basic equation in physics works the same forward and backwards in time. Yet for us, time is clear, irreversible arrow from past to future, never the other way around. My conjecture, the arrow of time is built into the very geometry of space and a part of that white hole. In a black hole, once you cross the point of no return, the event horizon, all paths lead only inward. You literally cannot move backward through space. The extreme curvature simply won't allow it. In a white hole, in a very similar way, all paths lead outward through time. Time flows forward because we are still essentially falling out of the very moment our universe was created. Every tick of every clock, every cause leading to an effect, every single moment of change is all simply the universe continuing to expand through both space and time. If time's direction comes from geometry rather than just increasing disorder, as in traditional thermodynamics, we should see specific patterns in the leftover radiation from the Big Bang, cosmic microwave background, CMB. Patterns that look like white hole predictions, not the standard models. The universe isn't just moving through time. Time is the universe's way of continuing to expand. When asked about living inside a black hole, Tyson gave a textbook answer about their strange properties. But we're not inside a black hole. We're inside the white hole it created. The physics of what happens inside are fundamentally different. Tyson often says that wild cosmic theories are interesting but can't be proven. Yet, white hole cosmology makes clear, measurable predictions about how our universe expands, how tiny particles behave, and the very structure of space and time. We can test this. The biggest, most compelling clue that we're inside a white hole isn't just a cool thought. It's something we can see and measure. The precise properties of dark matter, as observed, match exactly what we'd expect from the geometry of an expanding white hole. Is that a coincidence? Sometimes there's a preference for familiar mysteries over embracing elegant solutions that demand a totally new way of thinking. But here's what's truly frustrating. The underlying math behind this has been available for over a decade. The astrophysical observations increasingly support aspects of it, and the theory explains multiple major unsolved problems with one simple, unifying idea. Yet much of mainstream physics continue to overlook it because it's just too radical a shift. But they haven't answered any of these things any other way. It seems like it's time to step outside of the box and consider other options, right? Unlike vague theories like string theory or multiverse speculation, white hole cosmology makes specific predictions that we can test right now. The way a white hole expands should imprint distinctive polarization patterns in the CMB, the leftover heat from the Big Bang. These patterns would be different from those predicted by standard inflation or other alternative theories. Prediction 2. Dark energy's exact behavior. If dark energy is truly a geometric effect, its observed properties and evolution would perfectly match the expansion curves predicted by a white hole. We can check this rigorously with ongoing supernova data in future missions like Euclid. Prediction 3. Quantum effects on cosmic scales. If quantum mechanics emerges from white hole geometry, we should eventually detect quantum-like weirdness, like strange correlations or non-local connections in the very largest structures of the universe. Early data from the James Webb Space Telescope might even be hinting at this. Prediction 4. Distinct gravitational wave signatures. The birth of a white hole from a black hole bounce should produce unique ripples in spacetime, called gravitational waves. Our advanced detectors like LIGO and future versions of this, that are even going to be more sensitive, should be able to distinguish these from standard black hole mergers. Prediction 5. The information paradox solution and its signature. If black holes create white holes, then information isn't destroyed, which is a huge puzzle in physics. Instead, it's transferred to new universes. You might even find subtle specific patterns in the faint energy glow of Hawking's radiation that leaks from black holes, providing a clue to its cosmic transfer. We have the technology to test these predictions right now. We may even already have the information. The real question isn't if we can test the white hole cosmology, it's whether the scientific community has the courage to truly look at it. So, what if this is true? What are the implications? If our universe is indeed the interior of a white hole, then consider this truly mind-bending implication. Every single black hole in our universe could be creating new universes. Our Milky Way galaxy alone has an estimated 100 million black holes, but maybe they have to reach a certain size and magnitude to be able to turn into a white hole. Maybe not every black hole automatically has a white hole. Maybe that's why it needs to become the size of a universe to be able to do that. Who knows? We're not just in a universe, we're in a cosmic nursery. And here's the beautiful part. It's an unavoidable conclusion if white hole cosmology is correct. Every stellar collapse, every giant black hole at the center of a galaxy, every time two black holes merge, they're all potentially seeding new dimensions of space-time, new evolutionary possibilities, new forms of consciousness and life. Death becomes creation, ending becomes beginning, collapse becomes expansion. But here's what truly bends the mind. Those other universes would be completely real, not just parallel dimensions or abstract ideas, but actual, fully formed cosmic realities with their own physical laws and potentially their own conscious observers. We're literally surrounded by the birth of new cosmos. The universe is fertile ground, constantly creating. Now let's connect all these threads to the most profound mystery of all, the consciousness itself. If our universe is truly the interior of a white hole, continually expanding and solidifying its reality from a state of pure potential, and if quantum mechanics, with its strange collapse when observed, is simply how the ongoing cosmic crystallization appears to us from the inside, then consider this. What if consciousness isn't something separate that emerged from the universe, but rather an intrinsic aspect of the universe's own becoming? My conjecture: consciousness is the white hole observing and actualizing itself from the inside. Think back to the double slit experiment. When we observe a particle, its fuzzy possibilities snap into reality once observed. We previously said it collapses in the universe, making a choice about its own geometry. But who or what is making that choice? In this view, every single moment of awareness, your thoughts, your decisions, your very act of observing the world, isn't just happening in the universe. It's the universe as an expanding white hole, continuing its process of self-definition and actualization. This isn't mysticism. This is physics taken to its most breathtaking, logical conclusion. If space-time is still expanding and taking definitive shape, then consciousness might be the very mechanism by which that shape is decided, by which potential becomes reality. You're not just observing reality, you're participating in its very own creation. What this means for your inner world, your unique perspective, isn't just a tiny isolated event. It's part of the ongoing grand cosmic process. Your very existence, your awareness, is a fundamental piece of the white hole's journey of discovery as it continually crystallizes itself from possibility into being. Every thought that you have, every choice you make, help you weave the fabric of space-time into its own moment. And before you think that any of that sounds woo-woo, we don't have an explanation for dark energy. We don't have an explanation for consciousness. We don't have an explanation for the slit experiment. We don't have an explanation for so many different things that this idea and theory does explain. Science loves the term of Occam's razor, which is basically that the simplest solution is often likely the most correct one. How is this not the simplest solution? We know black holes exist. Mathematically, we do know that white holes should exist. If they did exist, all of the things that we're seeing would probably be the way that white hole would work. The size of the universe is exactly the size that it would be on a black hole if it had all the matter of our universe in it. I just don't understand why this isn't being taken a little bit more seriously. And hopefully, maybe this video will help that journey along. So let me ask you this question that started the entire journey. What if the Big Bang wasn't the beginning of everything, but simply the birth of our own white hole, emerging from the collapse of another universe? Please share your thoughts and comments below. I'd love to learn more about this. Am I completely crazy? Am I onto something? You tell me. Let's talk about it. Thank you.